So hello everybody, we are here today to make a simple tutorial on how to fly the Fokker 100 the route today will be departing from Lima India Mike Charlie, Lima India Mike Lima, which is Milano Linate, to Lima Oscar Whiskey India, which is Innsbruck, the mighty Innsbruck in Austria. So we are seated into the cockpit now. Everything is completely cold and dark, and as you can see, and now in a few seconds we will start up the aircraft using external power. And okay, so here we go. Okay, so switching to overhead here, and you can see that the external power is already available. And as a first step, we have to switch on the batteries, and the switch is right here. So battery is on, and check that the voltage of the battery is okay. And we switch to the voltage. That's 24 volts, so everything is good. And now, in order to prevent battery discharge, we switch on the external power. And here we go. We switch on also the battery charger and the galley power. Now we check on the voltage on the external power, which is 115 volts, which is okay. And now we can switch to the back overhead, simply clicking on the top of the screen, and proceed with the alarm checks. So engine fire 1 is check, engine fire 2, APU fire is check, anti-skid is check, and we also check the annunciator test. Okay, everything is good. Switch on the lube bottles on the engines and APU, and switch on the IRS mode in order to have the IRS aligned. Okay, so now we move to the FMC on the pedestal, and here we can initialize the IRS position of the aircraft. So initialize, and the flight will be from Lima India Mike Charlie to Lima Oscar Whiskey India. Return, and this is KLM 17902 on the name of the flight. So my mistake is not Lima India Mike Charlie, it's Lima India Mike Lima to Lima Oscar Whiskey India. And we have to check the north position, which is 4527.61, so 6. That's correct, and cost index for our flight will be 50, and the cruise fire level will be 210. The cruise wind will be 240 at 27 knots. And now we can align the IRS. Okay, IRS is aligned. So we switch to next page, and we input the block fuel, which is 3.7. So 3.7 on the block fuel, and the zero fuel weight, which is 36 tons. And it automatically calculates the takeoff gross weight, which is 39.5, which is correct. We also input the center of gravity, which is 19.7. And I think that we are basically done here. So here we can have a depiction of the route, and here is our airport with our standard departure, which will be Trevi 5 Zulu, and we will take off from runway 18 from Linate, and then follow all the standard departure until Nesti waypoint, and then all the other waypoints along the route until Breno, which is the last waypoint of the route before the standard arrival commences, and we will insert standard arrival while on cruise. So let's get back to the FMC in order to input the route. Okay, so let's go to flight plan, and the first point on the route is Nesti. Then from Nesti we enter the airway, and the airway is M985 to Tajip, 985 via M985 to Tajip. And then via Tango 876 to Ekpis. So Tango 876 to Ekpis. And then Mike 726 to Breno. 726 to Breno. Okay, we insert all the waypoints, and we have all the waypoints of the route until Breno on the FMC. Now we have to set the standard departure from Lima India Mike Lima, standard departure from runway 18 via Trevi 5 Zulu, and we insert this, and the transition will be Nesti 6 Charlie. We insert the waypoints, and we have all the waypoints now correctly. All the waypoints of the standard departure now correctly inserted on the FMC until Nesti waypoint. So perfect. Next step is to go to the takeoff approach page, and here we have to insert the V1, VR, and V2 speeds, and in order to do that, we move to the takeoff speed table, and I have them on my iPad. As you can see, for 40 tons weight, we have to input 138 and 138, but for V1 and VR 143 knots for V2. So we go back on the FMC and we put the speed 138 for V1, 138 for VR, and 142 knots for V2. Okay, good. Now we move to the main panel in order to set the MCP accordingly. So we switch on both the flight directors, both flight director 1 and flight director number 2. Here we are. On the speed window we have to put the V2 plus 5, which is 148 knots, more or less, and we also set an initial clearance altitude, namely, for example, 6,000 feet. We switch on also nav and profile mode, and the MCP is basically configured. We also set the artificial horizon in order to have it on 0 position, and we finally set the AFIS panel on 15 miles and constraints on and traffic on. Okay, we are done. Okay, passengers are already boarding. Now switch on the overhead again, and on the overhead panel what we have to do is to switch on the window hidden probe it, and switch on also the APU.
So APU is ready to start now.
Starting APU.
APU is starting.
Okay, APU is available, so I switch on the APU blade and all the packs. Now waiting for the pressure from the APU. We can also switch on the air conditioning auto shut, and on the lights panel we switch on the nav lights, the beacon, and also the seatbelts and no smoking signs. Okay, the boarding is completed, so we can everything, as you can see, is configured on the main panels. Okay, now we can call for pushback. Okay, we are ready for pushback.
APU bleed online.
And the APU bleed now is online, and we can hear the air flowing from the packs. Here comes the pushback truck. On the overhead we can prepare the aircraft for the engine start. So we switch on all the fuel pumps and the engine start switchers. Okay, we are ready. Okay, parking brake is released.
Okay, now pushback. Left is clear, right is clear. Okay, start engine.
Okay, ready for starting engines. So back on the overhead and starting number 2.
Starting number 2. N1 rising.
Fuel flow. And 2.
Fuel flow checked. Number 2 stabilizing.
Starting 1.
Starting number 1.
And 2. And 1.
N1 rising.
fuel flow.
Fuel flow checked. Number 1 is stabilized.
Okay, we have a call from the cabin.
Cabin is secure.
And the cabin is secured.
You are in position. Inside parking brake.
Okay, parking brake is set. And back to the overhead. And switch on the engine generators. 1 and 2. And we also switch on all the hydraulics pumps.
You are cleared for taxi.
Okay.
From a hand signal on your right side. Now.
Flight augmentation system is on, and I think that everything is properly configured now. Okay, ready for taxi. Apply a little power to the engines and starting taxi.
Auto throttle system is on. Flight control lock is off. Lift up with the arm. Taxi light is on.
So coming to the runway threshold, the visibility is 7,000 meters. We have a few clouds at 1,000 feet and broken at 2,000. Okay, right clear, left clear. We do a little backtrack here in order to have the whole length of runway available. Okay, we are almost there, and we do a 100 degrees turn here, so full left, tiller, and here we are. Okay, brakes. Landing lights on, strobe lights on, and we are ready for the takeoff. Okay, ready? 40% and 1. And toga.
Toga activation.
Clutch. Rotate. And into the flight director. Gear up. Flight director is catched. Profile captured. So now we can switch on the autopilot. Autopilot 1 on. Weather is pretty foggy. And we can switch off the digital engine monitor. Coming to the top of the clouds. And we can set the final cruise altitude, which is 210. Okay, so this ends the first part of our flight, and we will see again on the cruise and descent phase. So, bye bye.